As of this morning, which to you will be yesterday morning, we passed over 500,000 total views.
Yay!
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's pretty cool. Also 7,000 subscribers, but I believe we passed that a few days ago. So that's really, really cool. Hello to everyone who's joined us and maybe hasn't seen the series. We've left it for like 2 weeks, so this is a series where we review your songs. If you want to put your songs in this series, there's a link in the description for an email. Let's get on with it.
The first song we're going to review today is called Lucid by Home Media.
Last time my phone blew up was fucking around with pyrotechnics. So found it out of doubt somebody as long as too fucked up to remember who was talking to me.
Very sexy.
That was like Barry White, that, to be honest. That was really nice. That was very interesting with your sound. Like, it had some really weird guitar effects going on that kind of added to the whole really smooth atmosphere of the song, which really works. It was a relatively new sound that I haven't heard before.
I suppose it was
especially coming from a low-level band.
I suppose it was kind of drawing on that kind of like that new Childish Gambino kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's
like
kind
that,
of funk,
like
but it's not funk.
The neo-soul thing.
It's cool.
Yeah, it was good. I really like the vocal melody that you have in the verses, and I also like the high backing vocals that you have going on occasionally whenever they do happen. I think they're really good. However, I think when the song gets to about 2 minutes in, it kind of feels like it should have changed by now. I don't know if like the chord progressions are the same or different, but it all feels pretty samey. And when it gets to that point, it's like, okay, it feels like it should kind of change now. Maybe have a section that starts on a different note or something.
Yeah, it feels like that entire like 2 minute section is kind of like one big long-lasting section.
I am glad that the song is as short as it is. I don't think it would work if it was any longer.
Yeah, and it's cool. I like the vibes. Sexy. That's good. There aren't enough artists that are making like, ooh, this sounds sexy. Especially nowadays, a lot of it's either like angry or just indie, and this is kind of ooh. It's got some vibes that a lot of people aren't going for. That's cool. The kind of slurry kind of vocals where it's not perfectly pronounced kind of vocals works. And I think in the style that you're doing, it's kind of, ooh, yeah, kind of thing. However, it does mean that as an artist, you seem far less commercial and far less, I don't know. You're less likely to get on radio with a vocal style like that, even though it's cool. So it's a good thing and a bad thing, because for your style, it's really good. Really like it. It works. However, it does make the entire style of the artist less commercial. Take that as you will. I'm not going to recommend doing anything.
Yeah, it's just something to think about, really.
Yeah. So if at any point you were like, okay, we want to write a song and we want to make it the big song that we do, that'd probably be one thing to kind of alter just for that track, just to make that marketability better. It sounds a bit kind of, you can tell we work at a fucking record label, can't you? It's a bit, like these kind of shit words like traction and marketability and all that kind of shit. I mean, it's right, what, that kind of arsey kind of like, ooh, all don't have your hair in this thing and all wear leather jackets and all that kind of stuff. It fucking works. It's a bit shit though, isn't it? Yeah. There's a bit at the end of the first verse where the guitar kind of does like a kind of like a weird little descending kind of riff thing, and the vocal does it with the guitar, and that's really cool. I like that. I mean, I wouldn't say do more of that because it works as it is, but yeah, that's cool. I'd just like to point out. Yeah. Artist number 2 is called Tall Grandma, which is a fucking cool name. Tall Grandma, and they have a song called Her Sicker. That's not a word. I don't think.
It might be a word.
It gave me a red line when I typed it in. My keyboard didn't know it was a word. Either way, Tall Grandma, Her Sicker. Like that, it was kind of emo-y, shoegazy, kind of wishy-washy. That needs a proper genre. That name, that kind of blend between emo and shoegaze needs a name of a genre now. We've heard enough bands for it needs a name. Like it. It does feel kind of draggy and slow, but that's, I guess, kind of the point in it, really. Like, you don't want it to be like upbeat and things, so that's not really a downside. There's a section that you do at 1 minute 20 where I presume you go to a different note for the starting note and it kind of like elevates for a little bit. I think you do it 2 goes around, and I fucking really like that section. It really breaks up the song, and so you've got like the kind of the draggy kind of thing, and then you go to that and it feels like it picks up, and then you go back into it. It works really well. Dig it. Around 3 minutes 20, you pick up the song kind of picks up and gets kind of a bit more energy and a bit more oof behind it, and I think 3 minutes 20 is a bit long to be waiting before picking up the song. It does feel like it goes on a little bit too long before that section comes in. Maybe doing an evolution of the first section that I was on about in between those and kind of maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to resolve that, but it does feel like it drags a little bit before getting to that section.
The thing that stands out to me most about this song is how well it evolves. Like, it starts off really like die down, and by the end it's like quite upbeat, and I really like the kind of journey that the song takes you on. Like, there's a section, I think it's around 2.5 minutes, where it starts to get a little, I don't know, it just starts to feel a little bit more positive. Like, the drums pick up just a little bit, and like the I don't know, maybe you change your root note or something, it just starts to feel a little bit more positive and uplifting, and then by the end you've reached a crescendo and it's really nice. Yeah, I like it. I think what Lenny said about the upbeat section kind of coming in far too late, I think that kind of stands as well. Like, I think that should have come in a lot earlier, because it does feel like, it feels like it drags a little bit up until that point, but yeah, it evolves really nicely. You have occasionally like a little glockenspiel synth thing going on that I really like. I think you should use that a lot more, because it just sounds nice. It just sounds really sweet and fits with the atmosphere of the song. I do think that in your verses you kind of have vocal gap, vocal gap, and it's just like, I think that gap should either be filled with more vocals or a riff or just something to kind of keep it going, because it loses a little bit of momentum when the vocals stop there.
Good track.
Yeah. The last song that we're going to review today is called Denim Jacket by Watercolour.
Stand at the door with a big denim jacket, first loading essentials into my black backpack. I'll step into darkness, walk just off the rails. In my head
Okay, I want to start off with my one very minor negative about that song, because there is only one. In the intro, the drums are pretty sloppy and out of time. From then on, yeah, that was a really cool song. Oh god, I'm gonna list the things that I like about this song. I really like the vocals. I don't know if it's actually 2 people singing or it's just double tracks and harmonies there, but it works and sounds really good. I really like the section with the hay in it, where you stop for the hay. That's just cool. I like that. There's like halfway through the song, there's like a little breakdown where the violin or whatever it is kind of descends, and then after that finishes, it comes in with like a distorted guitar riff, and that contrast, for some obscure reason, works really well. So, bravo. Also, the bit that follows that section where it kind of starts building up again and the guitar riff changes and varies slightly, that section is just really good. I really like that. Yeah, that was a really good song.
Yeah, like it. It's kind of cool and quirky. I don't know what your marketing kind of side of things it is, because normally I kind of check out the bands that we are listening to when we're in the office. You'll notice that today we aren't in the office, we're in the studio, and I haven't had a chance to kind of look at the Facebook page and all that kind of thing. I really hope that you market yourselves in kind of like a cool and quirky kind of way, because that's kind of the vibes that I get from your music, and I think that's a really good way to market yourselves, like kind of bit colourful but also a bit grungy and a bit like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I want to reiterate what Joe said, because the intro bit with the drums, it's like, it is kind of out of time and sloppy and thing, and it's the first thing really that you hear from the track, and when we first put it on, I was like, oh, that's like out of time. And then I really like the rest of the track, so it's, as a first impression, it's really not great, because that one little section is like, I feel as though, like, you could kind of split the song into 2 sections, like, the bit that are kind of like your verses, and it's before the breakdown-y, fluty bit, violin-y bit into the heavy guitar bit. You could have the bit before that and the bit after that. The bit before, I think the flute, brass, violin, that section,
whatever it is that's going on now.
yeah, you're not traditional band section, I think should be turned down in the mix a little bit. After that section, like we've got like the violin solo and all that kind of stuff, that all the levels are totally cool and fine. I think the levels of that section need to be turned down in the earlier stages of the song. Obviously that's a mixed thing, so if you've already released it, not a great deal you can do about that, but that's what I'd have done. Speaking of violin solos, that's cool. I really dig it. There's only one other band that I've seen that have really utilised a violin in like a traditional band setup, and that is Yellow Card. And
Oh god.
I
You guys did it far better.
yeah, like, I mean, it's not really the same vibes or music or anything like that, but normally I would be, ooh, I don't know if violin works in kind of guitar-based music, but you fucking pulled it off and it's mint, and I really like it. And I normally don't like solos, like in guitar solos and all that kind of stuff, but I think, I don't know, it's a nice, refreshing kind of thing to have a violin solo. Did you distort it a little bit? Because I think you did, and that's kind of cool. I want to end on the fact that we work with an artist called I Set the Sea on Fire. They are a guitar-based band with flute and trumpet, and occasionally trombone live. We've mentioned them before on the channel if you've watched the channel a lot, but if you haven't checked them out, I would recommend you, the band, check them out, because you'd probably really like them, because they're doing the same kind of things what you're doing. You're a bit more grungy, they're a bit more indie. I think you'd like them, and I'm not saying go and copy them or whatever, I'm just saying go check them out, because they're doing the same kind of thing that you are, and it's cool. Maybe do some gigs together, I don't know, it's cool, dig it. We have a thing to actually say for the end of this video.
We're always on about the fact that you need to be original, you need to have an original sound, you need to experiment with things, you need to merge things together to try and create a new sound, and it's usually very hard to kind of explain what we mean, but that last song is what we mean. That song has took two completely clashing things and put them together and made it work. And that is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
So, bravo to that band for doing that.
Because we've done, say, worked at a record label for what, 3 years now? Like, we get sent so much stuff all the time, whether it's like for Music Lab in the reviews, everything that we've ever been sent for the reviews, if it's been good enough quality, we have put it on the reviews. But like for the record label, constantly being sent a load of stuff, which means that we get to listen to so many entry-level artists, if you like. And there are so many that kind of blend into each other, or just feel like we could have like 500 of one type of artist, and then there's just like one that's been sent that stands out and is different. And all those 500 kind of get forgotten about because they're all kind of the same. There's nothing unique about them. There's nothing and we don't end up working with them or whatever. And it's those ones that stick out that are really, I don't know. We want more of them is kind of, I guess, what we're trying to get at. So
you need more originality in music.
But it's not us saying go and listen to Watercolour and then copy them, because that's the problem, is saying, oh, this band's really cool, I'm going to make a band like them. Oh, this band's really cool, I'm going to make a band like... I like these two bands, that's a bit better, but it's the... Taking what you like and doing that isn't necessarily the best plan for making a band.
No.
Taking contrasting things that you like, smashing them together and making a band is much better. It's a lot harder. But I think in the end, goal-wise, it works a lot more. And Watercolour, you kind of nail our point. So, thank you for sending the stuff. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to actually check out if you've got any more stuff and listen to it, because I really, really like it. That's been the reviews. Thank you for 500,000 total views, and thank you for 7,000 subscribers.
7,000 subscribers now.
All that kind of shit. Thank you very, very much. If you want to see more from this series, click on my side of the screen. If you want to see our best of playlist, click on your side of the screen.
That was the least charismatic thing I've ever seen you do.
If you want to see... Do you want to do it? Come on, Mr. Charismatic.
What?
So click one of the two things. That one's better.
Damn right.